In 2012, something unusual happened on a beach in Brazil. From a distance, people saw shapes swimming from the sea toward the shore. As the shapes drew nearer, onlookers realized they were a group of dolphins. What was strange was that the animals kept charging straight toward the beach without slowing down. By the time some of them tried to turn back, it was already too late. There were many people nearby. Crowds rushed forward and tried to drag the dolphins back into the water. For social animals like pilot whales and dolphins, strandings are usually discovered only after the animals have already beached themselves. This Brazilian incident was unusual because the entire stranding process was captured on camera. Various explanations have been offered. Ship noise interfering with echolocation, disturbances in Earth's magnetic field disrupting their navigation, and other theories. These ideas are difficult to verify. After all, you cannot simply ask the dolphins. Dolphins are remarkably intelligent. Their brains are larger than those of humans and account for about 2% of their body weight, compared with roughly 2.5% in humans. Humans. They possess certain types of neurons involved in social behavior and emotion that are homologous to those found in humans, suggesting they may share some cognitive similarities with us. When researchers examined the brains of stranded dolphins, they discovered two familiar kinds of pathology: deposited plaques and neurofibrillary tangles, the hallmarks of Alzheimer's disease. The fact that a disease still not fully understood in humans also appears in dolphins came as a surprise. Dolphins live in groups ranging from a dozen individuals to hundreds, and occasionally even superpods of more than 1,000. They move and act in coordinated fashion. This raises a question. If Alzheimer's-like changes impair a dolphin's brain, could that cause serious errors when an animal is leading the group? Might strandings themselves sometimes be a symptom of this condition in dolphins? As apex predators of the ocean, dolphins display sophisticated hunting techniques. They can create waves that wash seals off ice floes into the water. They can induce tonic immobility in great white sharks, and then remove the shark's liver with relative ease. Some groups drive fish toward shore. Once the tide recedes and the fish are stranded, the dolphins simply open their mouths and wait for the fish to jump in. This beach hunting style is a specialized skill within the dolphin family and has a distinctly orca-like intensity. Another striking method is mud ring fishing. After locating a school of fish, dolphins swim in circles while stirring up sediment, creating a muddy ring. The frightened fish try to escape by leaping out of the water, right into the waiting mouths of the dolphin. The technique keeps the school together and requires little chasing. The dolphins simply open their mouths and wait, almost like jiangxia fishing, letting fate decide which fish will jump in. Humpback whales use a somewhat similar bubble net technique, but their hunting grounds are mainly high-latitude cold waters. When they migrate to tropical seas, they focus on mating and breeding, so bubble net feeding is rarely observed in those regions. In Shark Bay, on the west coast of Australia, bottlenose dolphins have developed tool use, the only known example among dolphins. The seafloor there is full of sand and rocks that make echolocation difficult and can injure a dolphin's snout. Some dolphins solve the problem by placing a sponge over their beak, like a protective mask, then foraging in the sand. Others have been observed herding fish into empty conch shells and then tipping the shells so the fish fall into their mouths, an ingenious miniature trap. Dolphins also engage in behavior that looks remarkably like seeking intoxication. The toxin of a single pufferfish can kill dozens of adults, yet dolphins carefully hold a pufferfish in their mouths without biting or swallowing it. They gently suck on it until they feel the effects, then pass it to companions so the whole group can share the experience. When the pufferfish is finally released, both the fish and the dolphins appear dazed and float languidly on the surface. Taking such a risk for a temporary high suggests that
beyond filling their stomachs and avoiding predators, dolphins may also pursue something akin to a mental or recreational experience. These small groups of a few dolphins are often not closely related by blood. They swim in synchrony, match each other's vocalizations, share the pufferfish, and have even been observed taking turns mating with a female, behavior that is highly unusual among animals. These small teams can also merge into larger pods that travel together across wider areas. In the Brazilian town of Laguna, dolphins have developed a unique cooperative relationship with local fishermen. The dolphins drive fish toward the shore, and the fishermen wait with nets. When the dolphins signal, the fishermen cast their nets, an enduring partnership. Researcher Denise Herzing has spent more than 3 decades studying dolphins in the Bahamas. Her team has experimented with two-way communication using simple symbols and custom dolphin-like sounds. A dolphin can touch a symbol or produce a specific sound to request an object, such as a scarf, and humans can respond in kind. So far, however, true open-ended conversation remains beyond reach. Current interactions still rely heavily on training. There is also the well-known Japanese trainer who worked with captive orcas and later encountered wild orcas in Canada. Seeing the animal's tall dorsal fins cutting through open ocean left a deep impression and highlighted the contrast between captive and free-living lives. Captive dolphins and orcas have helped educate the public and generate affection for these animals. Yet confining highly intelligent, free-ranging creatures raises serious ethical questions. The Oscar-winning documentary The Cove, 82nd Academy Awards, focused on the annual dolphin drive hunts in Taiji, Japan. Boats drive dolphin pods into a bay by banging on poles, then close the entrance with nets. Some animals are selected for marine parks, others are killed. The practice, which has expanded dramatically over the past 50 years, is sometimes defended as tradition. Yet critics ask whether something that intensified so recently truly qualifies as ancient custom. A different model exists in places where dolphins are released after temporary enclosure and allowed to choose whether to return. Since dolphins are naturally drawn to certain bays, developing tourism, converting hunting boats into whale-watching vessels could generate more income while letting visitors experience living, leaping dolphins rather than meat. For most people around the world, the sight of free-swimming dolphins is far more valuable than any product derived from them.